guys, Dr. Tati here, and welcome back to Doctor's Gaming, and welcome to another session of Monster of the Month. This is the longest running campaign for Curse of Strahd we have, and our player characters are very close to leveling up. So we are about to jump back into this thing, where they are in the middle of Abbey of St Maccabiah and trying to get some answers to questions that they've been seeking since some of them since the start of this campaign, which was a few months ago. So hopefully we will get all of the answers today, and we will get in some fighting as well. I'm not sure if we'll get into fighting, but we'll see how that goes. So let's jump right in with a recap with the players. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. I'm having an interesting day as well. Wonderful, we'll say. You know how it is when you're stuck at home for a long time. You get a little bit stir crazy. But yeah, let's get straight into it. All right. Hello.
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 Greetings, fellow humans.
Greetings, ha ha ha. I am not a human, I am a vampire, ha ha. And I am here to suck your blood. No. Alright.
Yeah, I hope you make a better Strahd voice when you're actually voicing.
That's why I would never do an actual Strahd voice. That's why I've got him as a different voice, because I cannot do a real Barovian accent. Mwahaha. Alright, so last where we left off, you all had been in the village of Krezg and had dealt with some of the things, tried to sort out.
Yeah,
Yes.
you broke off in the last when we left off, and then you broke off.
All right. So last where we left off, you had entered into the village of Krezg, and you sorted out some things between the burgomaster and his wife, as well as allowed Irina Kalyana to return to her true beloved Sergei Vanzarovich. You then took a long rest, and the next morning, without Roland because he overslept, headed to the village of Krezg, to the Abbey of St Maccabiah. What am I talking about? The Abbey of St Maccabiah, and started investigating the mongrel folk problem that Krezg has. You met up with these two mongrel folk, had an interesting conversation with the two of them. Were permitted to enter into the abbey and met with the abbot himself. Beatrice once again checked whether the abbot is good or bad aligned, what he is and what he isn't, and she realized that even though he emanates this aura of celestial being, he is evil. He's got an evil tinge to his soul. He maintains that he is pure of heart, and that what he's doing within the abbey is for the betterment of Barovia. Corrupting these or changing these Bellevues into these mongrel folk is to him a beautiful thing. You all were very tempted to attack him and probably kill him, but you elected to take a tour of the abbey, because you also knew that you need to find the Tome of Strahd. The Tome of Strahd is one of the fortunes of Ravenloft that you have been searching for since Madame Eva has told you about her card readings. You successfully found the room that the tome is in, fought off a few ghosts, or was shadows. Io showed off his ability to be able to just make shadows disappear quite effectively, and you, I think Evelyn, fought off a banshee that wanted to be released from this plane of existence. You realize that she's been trapped there among all of the other souls that are trapped in Barovia. A lot of souls are trapped in Barovia because this is a demiplane. Demiplanes do not have a link to the prime material plane, therefore creatures and entities that die within the demiplane are also stuck there, unless something or someone can return them. The abbot being one of those creatures. The abbot can return people back to life. This is also something you learned. We ended our session with Beatrice reuniting once more with her friend and father figure, Father Aurelius, the one man that she ever trusted within the church of Saloon, where she's from, who also knows a lot of her deepest secrets. But first, we are backtracking a little bit to Roland, who's waking up in the Burgomaster's house, this little cottage that is slightly bigger than the rest of the rooms in the village. Roland, you've been told by Rudolf von Richten that he is leaving and heading to the temple, the Amber Temple, and that you are at the moment entrusted to either keep the village safe or go and look for what answers you can find. So, what would you like to do, Roland?
Yeah, let's see. So they tell me that they went up to the abbot.
I think you guys did, right? You did tell him that you were heading up to the abbot. Well, even either or, you're gonna find out very very soon if you ask Anna and Dimitri as well. I think what they did was they told you to stay behind a little bit and watch the village for safety because Beatrice was concerned about this dark cloud that she had seen the previous night, tracking it from the Wizard of the Wines further east to Valaki, but she lost it during the morning.
Okay, so then I mean, even waking up late, I probably would have made took my time,
Mm-hmm.
kind of looking out for it,
Okay.
and then if I didn't see anything or if everything looked normal, then I probably would have started heading up the way.
All right. Do you want to make me some kind of check to make sure? So it's either nature, survival, or perception to look for this dark cloud that had started spreading after you freed Irina from this demiplane. Oh wow. There we go. You're as always perceptive. So that dark cloud has moved from the village of Valaki. Not that you know where Valaki is, but it's moved from the east to the north. It is much, much closer to Krezk right now, but it is hovering over um, what appears. You can't see what it is, but it's on the other side of the mountain, about an hour and a half away.
Okay.
Um, you're not sure which direction it's going and what it's doing, but the movement is very, very erratic, of course. It's not a natural cloud, not that anything in here is natural, um, but it does seem to break apart, and solidify again, and it is completely and utterly black.
All right.
All right.
So it's not necessarily moving closer to us. I mean, it's kind of
It's
sporadic, but it's not.
it's kind of sporadic, but at the moment it is hovering over on the other side of the mountains. What you've learned to be is there is Barovia is settled in this little valley area that is between two mountain ranges, the Baladnock Mountains and the why do I always forget this mountain's name?
Gagis?
Mount Gakis. There we go, Mount Gakis. And you are on the Balanok side, but on the complete and utter left side. And then in between this, there is a large valley that most of the villages are in, as well as the Svalich Woods. But yes, this cloud seems to be somewhere around the range of Mount Balanok.
Okay, well, seeing how it's moving, I probably still wouldn't be concerned about it because it technically hasn't been like coming over.
No, it hasn't. It hasn't come over this village at all. It seems to be um, just moving from south to north in a strange way, because it went south, southeast, east, and then directly west and then north. But you are on the far northwest side.
Okay. So yeah, I would probably head up there to let everybody know what's going on with that
Right.
cloud.
Right, so this is also the first time that you will be starting to head up this road here. So I will once again give the description of this. Those who have heard it many times before will hear it many, many times more. It takes a little while to walk up these roads. Unlike the evening where you followed Beatrice down the mountain, in the daytime, the dark grey sky time. Right, yeah. Roland's got a fur coat at least, so you can wear that. In the daytime, you'll see that this road branches north and climbs a rocky escarpment. You see there is a gatehouse at the top, into a 20-foot high wall of stone. The wall encloses a settlement on the side of a snow-dusted mountain spur, and beyond the wall you see the tops of snow-covered pines and thin white wisps of smoke. The somber toll of a bell comes from a stone abbey that clings to the mountainside, high above the settlement. You've seen this abbey before, you've been in it before. But this road is a steady switchback road that clings to the cliffs that has these 100-foot terraces in between. So you necessarily have to walk the road, unfortunately. You can't just climb
Got it.
them. Yeah, climb up, because 100 feet each is quite a distance. All right, I'm gonna put you up onto the map. There we are. Wait for the map to load. All right. And you're gonna tell me whether you can see.
Oh, yep.
There we go. Right, so yeah, this is the switchback road that leads up this mountain. With the triangles and things, that shows you the elevation you have, and it goes up 100 feet at a time. Your speed,
Wow.
yeah. This is what you and Beatrice jumped down in the evening. But you were lucky that evening. Today you aren't as lucky because the DM learned what these actually means.
Got it.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna jump over quickly to Beatrice, Evelyn, and Io, who are currently on the second floor of the Abbey, having been taken there by the abbot, and had just walked into the room seeing Father Aurelius holding one of these mongrel folk in his arms and feeding it this grey goop. Oh, Beatrice, I am so happy to see you. I'm trying to remember what exactly the last conversation was. But yes,
I told him that it's time to go, and then he said that he would stay. That's what I
yes,
remember.
yes. I have to stay, Beatrice, for these poor creatures. I have been feeding them for several days now.
I spent days, weeks. I lost track of time looking for you, and I almost got killed. And now you're saying that you're not coming with me?
I know that the last time we spoke. Right, yes, sure. I know the last time we spoke, you had asked me to come with you, but I don't know if it is necessary, if it's what I need to do. Who will feed these creatures? I can't do your accent.
So I'm assuming he's sitting down.
Yeah, he's sitting
the
in the corner
moment?
of this room. So the three of you can see this room isn't well furnished. It's just a bunch of bunk beds. Evelyn, for you will recognize what this is immediately. because you've seen many barracks in your time. This one is very dilapidated, and the bunk beds that have been put in here has seen better days. It is molding and breaking, but it's still intact, most of them. But he's sitting in the corner feeding gruel to this small creature. You've seen some of the mongrel folk now, but this one's a lot smaller and still sort of developing. It's got these strange wings, these leathery flappy wings, and it does have what appears to be fur in a few places, and you can see glowing eyes in mismatched glowing eyes in it. And it's making a horrendous noise. Not that any of the mongrel folk don't make a horrendous noise.
I think I'm gonna wait until he's done with that, and I'm gonna whisper to Evelyn and Io, get rid of the abbot, or if you want to go with him, I just need some time with Aurelius.
Okay. I'll walk out and ask the abbot. Hello, sir.
Hello, yes.
I was just wondering. Earlier we fought those ghosts in your castle. Can you maybe?
I told you before,
heal me?
this is not a castle.
Oh, it's big. It's all the same to me. I don't really care what the terminology is.
But are you very, very hurt, my child?
This is in my shoulder is this pain.
Do you show him where the pain in the shoulder is?
Yeah, I'll like point like exactly underneath the shoulder blade there. It's right here,
I see.
and I can't seem to get rid of it myself.
Are you trying to move him away from somewhere, or just keeping him there on the edge of
Yeah. I'll like. Can we talk in private? I don't want the rest to really find out about this.
Make me a persuasion check.
Okay.
Milkshakes, I would say. Sorry, which is better, milkshakes or smoothies?
Milkshakes, easy.
Easy.
Yeah,
I was about to
yeah.
say, milkshakes is very, very easy, right?
16.
All right. Perhaps if we go talk and have finished the breakfast we had before, I could heal you then. As you,
Oh.
yeah, as you're walking out here, you can see below in the courtyard, one of these mongrel folk creatures is busy dragging this large tub of food over the courtyard, grumbling to themselves. From this distance, it looks like this creature has two heads, and it's hobbling a little bit strangely, and you hear this strange clanking noise over the copper pot. Recalling
Okay.
that the bell, the tolls of the abbey had, or the bell of the abbey had rung for food. You hear all of these creatures yelling, "Food, food, food, food." Roland, you can also probably hear that as you're walking up to the abbey.
A noise I recognize all too well.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so I'm taking you in that direction, but I'm staying with Evelyn and Beatrice for the moment. I'll get to you in a second. Is that fine, Io?
Yeah.
Evelyn and Beatrice. You watch as Io walks away with the abbot, having successfully apparently persuaded him.
As soon as he's done feeding the beauty and the beauty is out,
Yeah, so you
I'm
see
gonna
you see Aurelius taking the little baby creature, opening the window next to him, and just sort of gently nudging it outside out of the window, and you watch as it starts starts flapping and keening, I'm more hungry. Hungry, more hungry, more food. And
Go to
Aurelius,
Cloven. I'll tell the beauty.
okay, it's a beautiful little creature. You watch, um, as it gives you those little kid-like eyes, and you can imagine it has a little hat under its head, under its chin, and you can see its little um, lip trembling. Oh, please, food. But if you ignore it for a minute or two, it gives you just this evil stare, starts flapping down, and then through one of the windows below, in the floor below.
So I'm gonna kneel next to where Aurelius is, and I'm gonna grab his arms like with a lot of strength because I'm quite upset from what I hear.
Mm-hmm.
I will use my divine sense because I'm paranoid and I don't know what the abbot did to him.
Okay, sure.
So I'll do that.
Mm-hmm.
And also, as I'm next to him, I wanna touch his cheek, and I want to see if basically this magic is illusion magic. So basically, I want to see if I feel the wrinkles behind on his skin or
On
not.
his skin. Okay, sure. Using the divine sense on him, you still sense that deep down, he is the person that you knew. There is a little bit more of a tinge starting to form, but it's still those angelic music, still the code of conduct that he has to form. He still believes very much in St. Maccabiah. You remember that he told you some stories about her. You might have forgotten at some point, but he did idolize her. Um, but one of the things that you also learn and possibly haven't realized is he finds common ground between anyone, whether it's an enemy or an ally. It's something that allowed you to be taken out of those dungeons and be taken care of, or if that's the right word. Um, he always empathizes with people. He always works towards peace, even though it doesn't always look like it's that, right? I'm going to share with you his personality traits, since this is something that you will know. I'll whisper them to you.
Oh, I want to know.
I don't know if one of them. Do you really want to know?
No.
Okay. So as I grab his arm, I'm gonna say, I know that we're supposed to take care of the weak and the ones that are suffering. That's what you taught me, and that's what I'm doing. And that's why I was here so late, and I was getting distracted. There are too many desperate people in this land, but we have to take care of Strad. And if you stay here, you're gonna die, and you cannot help anyone from the grave.
Yeah, as your hands are going over his face, you can feel that it is skeletally thin. It's not that you can feel wrinkles at all. It is smooth skin, but you can definitely feel that because he's been using a lot of his own magic to summon this food, he's been starving himself. And even though he looks younger, he looks more handsome, he is still frail in body at the moment. You surprised him yourself when you picked him up and pulled him up. How quickly you were able to do it. You almost lifted him into the air. Evelyn, if you really want to, you can start making an insight check after a few minutes to learn one of his traits.
I'm good. I'm basically letting Beatrice handle the situation completely.
True. I've been I've been talking to the abbot, and he doesn't seem to care what Strahd does.
You told me that you were there when Vasily visited him. What did you see?
I saw the two of them speaking about that woman downstairs, about creating her, about sending her to be married to some person.
Vasily was the one that asked for it?
Yes, it was Vasily's request. Specifically over dinner, they had spent many hours discussing this. They seem to have a lot of history together. I do not know what that history is.
So I guess you don't know that Vasily van Holt is Strahd.
You'll definitely see a lot of confusion in his face. I do not know if this is true. I only saw this man once during that dinner. I don't even know what Strahd looks like.
I don't know how you ended up here. I don't know if he brought you here to taunt me or both of us.
I came here to see if my idol is still alive, whether or not I could speak with St. Maccabiah herself. I remember reading so many stories as a child about the good she had done, about the work she had achieved. When I learned that she had made an abbey in a land not too far away, and I learned how to get there, I had to see for myself what beauty she had made. I never expected to find a place like this, though. I must admit,
And what do you think about the abbot now? Because what's your opinion of him? I mean,
he
you did let him do magic on you.
he he worked with her. He originally, well, I do not know if this is still true today, but he did a lot of things in her name. I must admit that it was very tempting when he told me that he could take away my old age. Beatrice, since you know him well enough, you can see in his face there is something that he's not telling you. Um, there is a secret that he's trying to keep from you. You don't even need to make a check for that. But we're gonna jump over to Roland in a second. um, just because we're jumping between people here. Right, Roland, you make it to the top of the abbey here, and you see there is this gate and a beautiful view from the top of this mountainous area. You're a little bit winded, but not as winded as most other people would have been, since you are a crazy, crazy man. You come to this gatehouse, and you can hear some movement and talking coming from both sides of the gatehouse. One side, it sounds like it's a horse neighing, and on the other side, it's just a gruff voice mumbling some words. This is in addition to the clearly yelling out of food, 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 food.
Okay. Do I see anybody?
So you are on this side here, right? There is no window.
Yeah.
So there is a low wall that covers the abbey. The road leads to the gatehouses where this noise is coming from, and the um, windows to the inside of the first room of the abbey is sort of dusted over and not clean. You can't really see inside. Just over the low wall is a gravestones, quite a few gravestones, but other than the noises you hear, you don't see anyone. You can see deeper in. There is the road that you're currently on continues deeper into a set of double doors where there are guards standing on guard, and you can see two people walking over the parapet there. But that's 200 feet away.
Okay. The dark cloud. Can I see it better from up here?
Make another check for me. Why not?
Oh wow.
Yeah. Oh wow. I think you're way too distracted by the amount of things that are happening up here to even be thinking about the cloud right now.
Okay. Then I'd probably keep going down this road.
So you're gonna head towards the gatehouse over here. So in this gatehouse you see a rusted fence, and you can see the road continues there. And the voices, the two voices of these creatures, and the other one, this gruff female voice saying, "I'm pretty, I'm beautiful, pretty and beautiful and smart." Cloven, where are you?
Those voices sound pretty close.
Oh yeah, they sound like they're 10 feet away, 15 feet away.
So then I'd probably just kind of raise my voice and say, "Hello, can you hear me? Is anybody?"
You hear this sudden bray of a donkey. And once again, the gruff, deep voice. We can hear you, yes. Today I'm going to have a completely different voice for the two of them, apparently.
So yeah, I would. Sorry.
Yeah.
I would. I would. I would yell out and say, "Have you seen my friends come through here?"
Visitors, yes, hello. You see these two strange shapes coming from out of the mist, and yes, they are very, very strange. The images that you see in Discord, that's these two creatures that walk out of here. One of them is this small, 4 foot 9 inch tall, um, beardless dwarf. Looks like a beardless dwarf with patches of donkey flesh covering his face and body. So most of them are under his legs. And over his face, you see that he's got what appears to be a wolf muzzle and a half an ear sticking out that's also in the shape of a wolf. So he's got a wolf snout and fangs and a wolf's ear. The left ear is regular, and his arms and hands are human, but his legs and feet are leonin.
Cool.
He's got a donkey tail, and he's the one that's making the hello. He's got a plain woolen cloth, so that would be this one here on the right. And then the other one is this female. It's very, very difficult to see that she's female because she's got fur all over her left side, and she's got lizard scales all over her right side. Her right hand is also this lizard hand, and her left hand is in a shape of a paw, a cat's paw, and opposable thumbs. She carries this net and the spear with her as she drags it behind her, and one of her eyes you can see is this deep yellow, and she's got this grey cloak over her. You come for dinner?
Well, I didn't necessarily come for dinner,
Breakfast, dinner,
but
lunch.
are you hungry?
Very hungry.
So
Cloven on the way though. You hear the other one going.
Would you like a snack?
What, you think just because I look like this, I'm hungry? No, don't judge me. You see the fur-scaled um, female suddenly looking at you with suspicion. Do not judge me. She walks
Oh
over
no, I
to.
wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that, wise one.
Okay, make me a persuasion check. Oh boy. So you see her dropping to the ground, suddenly shaking the fence and saying, "Huh, I see you judging me. You, not trust you. You'll judge me. No, won't let you in. No, won't let you in. Not now. Not ever." The other one doesn't speak much.
I only came here looking for my friends. You said you had visitors here.
Uh,
Perhaps that is them.
they speak to Abbott now. Yeah. You see the one that hasn't talked too much but has been braying with the sound of a horse, or with a donkey, sorry. He reaches out to through the fence and he say, "Want to shake my hand?"
Sure.
Come here, shake hand. All right. He's gonna try and grapple you, obviously. So contested strength check for me, if you please.
I'm gonna use acrobatics, actually.
Yep, that's why I say whatever you're using, acrobatics, strength, or dexterity. I can only use a boy. Wow. You feel this creature with his hand just try and squeeze it as hard as he can and look you straight in the eye and say, "I'm strong, yes. I'm strong, yes."
Very strong. You almost broke my hand.
I'm the strongest. I'm the strongest. Siegfried, let in. He doesn't realize that you beat that contest and that you're not grappled by him, but he does think that he won at least that match of strength. You watch as the or this lizard creature referred to as Siegfried turns around and says, "But judge me. He judged me." And the other donkey braying one said, "But I win. I win match today. I win every day." And you watch as Siegfried opens the gate. We take you, Abbott. Okay.
Sounds good to me.
Alright. We will jump over again to Io and the Abbot, who has now led
Hello.
Hello, who has led you back to the what's it called again? Main hall. You said you see Vasilka has now cleaned the tables mostly and put in a new tablecloth. You say that you require healing. Is there anything else that you require, my child?
The
All right.
other thing I wanted to know is I wanted to ask you about Saloon. What do you know about the goddess Saloon?
Hmm. She has got a strong presence here within this realm. She is referred to by many names. I myself do not necessarily pray to her, but I do receive guidance from her sometimes, but my messages do not come from her.
What guidance do you receive?
Direct and most comforting messages from the Morning Lord himself. Lathander speaks to me directly. It will
Have
be
you ever wondered?
yes.
My apologies. Please go ahead.
Oh no. Uh, Never mind. I forgot what I wanted to say.
Okay, well, I want to say, have have you ever wondered why, or maybe perhaps if the messages that we receive from these gods are somehow distorted in the lands of Perovia? Because I found, well, a friend gave me this book, and then I'll present
hmm
the book on religions and stuff that I have, and it is very much different from what we believe. And ever since I started praying and worshipping Saloon in the way that the book describes, I've gained power.
As the two of you are speaking, you do see the abbot reaching out, and this glowing light emerges from his hand, and he asks for your permission as he wants to heal
Please.
you. Yep, he starts healing you for 17 hit points.
Damn, girl. That's a lot of damage.
That's a lot of damage. I do not think that is true. You mean to say that Saloon's knowledge is ancient? That it is outdated in some way?
But so, I mean, how often do we get into Barovia new information or new knowledge?
But
I mean, look at the people that came from outside, and they are so much different than the people from inside.
well, we
Their
are all
armor, their weapons, everything looks like it's miles ahead.
progress, if need be, is a good thing, but knowledge passed down from generation to generation is what we use to understand the gods. I've been praying to them for years on end. I don't see them changing. Their ways doesn't change as much as people think they do.
Not as much, but it's not impossible.
I do not know. I have
I mean,
if you
how
sorry, yeah, continue.
how do you explain this? That when I started using the methods of prayer, praying in a good way instead of sacrificing like the rest of my tribe, how can you explain all of a sudden I gain these powers as if I've been seen, as if I've been heard, where before it was nothing? Oh shit, yeah, sorry, I didn't want to cast Sacred Flame.
Okay, I give up. I give up. I run away. Fear of sacred flame. Why? Perhaps, as with me, your heart is pure, your intentions noble and good. Perhaps your family, whoever they are, aren't the same as you are, and Saloon spoke to you directly.
Can I make a suggestion?
Of course, my child, any time.
Would you mind sitting with me in prayer for 10 minutes? Let us try to commune with Saloon and see if she can give us some guidance.
Mhm. Receiving messages from other deities could be a good thing. Do you mind if Vasilka joins us? I do need to teach her the ways of prayer and it would be a good thing to have her learn what kind of etiquette there is.
Perhaps it can be a good thing.
Who am I going to jump over to now? I think I'll jump back to Beatrice and Evelyn. As you see the abbot lift up and start asking you what kind of material is required for this ritual and what he can do to prepare for it.
Oh, well, it's no real ritual. It's just praying, seeking guidance.
Guidance. All right. Let's make a religion check there for both of us.
Okay. And then
Out of
I'll just speak
curiosity.
out.
Mhm.
I'll speak out to Selyun and say, Selyun, I've come to learn that you are a goddess of light, much the same as Philander.
Lathander.
Perhaps Lathander.
You do it every time.
Perhaps you can show me and my friend. Perhaps you can shed some light on our situation that we have here. Please.
All right. Religion check.
Come on. Come on. 13. Oh, good it's
13.
okay.
Yeah, it's not too bad. All right.
Wait. I
Yeah.
have to know, why is he attacking the abbot alone?
No,
No, I wasn't.
that was a mistake. He did not attack the abbot alone. He said it was a mistake.
Mistake.
Yeah,
I wanted
I
to
was worried
minimize
that
the information, but then I clicked on the spell.
That would have been hilarious if he started attacking the abbot alone. He would have died. A painful and gruesome death, I think. Maybe not. Who knows? All right, Beatrice. What was the last thing I said? I said I'm jumping between too many people today.
That he's like keeping a secret, it seems.
Oh, right. Yes, he's keeping a secret. Yes. You see he's keeping a secret.
The abbot said that you're free to go whenever you like. You wouldn't happen to have made an agreement with him. Are you his prisoner?
Oh, no. I am not his prisoner. I could leave whenever I wish. I don't have any desire to leave, though. I am afraid of what will happen to these creatures. You see, and you can hear some of the shouting and screaming is starting to down, and you can hear sort of another voice from below you screaming out, get back, you foul beast, get back! And then you can hear scrambling for food. Even though Cloven is feeding them right now, he only feeds them a quarter of the food. Or perhaps even half. He is drunk most of the time. I don't think he knows what is happening.
But you're not this monastery's manager. I mean, the abbot is supposed to take care of them. You know that.
In the absence of a true leader, is it not my job then to stand up? To help where I can?
If we stay here any longer, we're gonna both die. Strad is after us, my friends and me. And I'm gonna take my scarf off and I'm gonna show him the bite marks.
Yeah, that he'll immediately run over and inspect it, of course. Let's make a medicine check for him to see what happens. Not too bad. Ah, a vampire's bite. Are you okay,
I
my
almost
child?
didn't make it. And if that's not enough proof for you that we're both in danger, I don't know what else would be.
But my child, what can I do? What can I possibly do against a creature like that?
Help us.
By leaving these innocents to die.
These innocents are victims of one cause.
Symptoms or victims of one cause?
Symptoms,
Symptoms,
like a
symptoms.
disease.
Okay, symptoms.
You've been inside walls, protected places for a long time. You haven't seen the horrors outside. There are too many people suffering because of Strad. And your San Markovia did what she had to. She didn't make it, but we have to follow her path. Because all the local leaders here, they don't care. They're either mad or corrupted.
I would love to find her grave. That is something I definitely would love to do.
All this time and you don't even know where her graves is?
I thought it would be here within the abbey, but it appears that it is not here, but in the castle, somewhere. I am too afraid to go to the castle on my own.
You're coming with us. No pool parties with the abbot anymore. There's no excuse.
I guess I have been thinking about myself a little bit too much. All right.
If you want to find a solution also for these creatures, we have to go.
All right, Beatrice, I will follow you. If only for my own sake. I must say you have grown so much. I have missed a lot of your wise words, but this radiance you are emanating, this is something new. Whatever it is that I am feeling, coming from you, perhaps you are becoming stronger than I could have ever imagined.
You were always the strong and wise one, so I'm hoping you will find yourself very fast.
I hope so too.
And one thing, because I'm just curious, can't you cure the abbot of his madness? Have you tried?
I do not think that it is a madness. I think that it is a flaw that he has. It is a slow but long corruption that he has over his heart. Many years of it that has developed into a sickness that spread into his heart. This generation of mongrel folk is not the only ones. There is an older generation within the castle. The oldest one, known as I had his name an hour ago. Now I forgot it. Cyrus. Cyrus is not here, but Cloven is the one in charge here. Cyrus Bellevue is the progenitor, and he is in the castle. If what I believe is true, there is at least 6 generations of Bellevues. That means almost 200 or 300 years of experimentation. Where and what power do I have to take something away like that from a creature as old as whatever the abbot is? I do not know how old he is, but I think he is old. Very, very old.
That may be so, but he's still a symptom of one cause.
And what is that cause?
Rod von Zarovich.
I do not know how he links to this, but
Well, he's taking orders from him clearly, so it could be that this is connected to him again. I don't know, maybe he cursed these people for some reason. Maybe they fought with San Markovia and the whole family is cursed now. But we can have a talk with him, I guess, before we go. I'm curious, I have to admit.
I see. Well, then you have convinced me. Let me grab my stuff, and with a heavy heart I will follow you. And you see him walk to monk bed and grab very, very few possessions. He had given you almost everything that he had previously, and he's been giving a lot more since. So it's a small little bag that he grabs from underneath the bed. And he says, I am ready to go, Beatrice.
This is my friend Evelyn, by the way.
It is a pleasure to meet you, Avalinda. Or Evelyn. I do not know which you prefer.
Evelyn, please. Elven names are too long for my tastes.
I see. Yes, Elven names is something that I struggled with a lot as well. Not having one myself, it is difficult learning a new language sometimes. Tell me, how did the two of you save each other and get to here safely? Being alone must have been so difficult for you. Alright, I should probably copy his token as well. That will help. He says this as he starts walking over through the parapet. Which direction are you heading, by the way?
Towards the main hall, I guess, where the abbot is.
Do you want to go down the staircase that you went previously, or do you want to go over the parapets? And there you can see across from the parapets there is another room or another door.
Beatrice, we need to leave this place. With all due respect, we have the book. We don't need to stay here.
Io is with the abbot, so at least we can have a final chat and go. I'm not saying that we should stay longer. We are being hunted. We have to be fast.
Yeah, as the two of you walk outside of the door, you can see Roland being led into the courtyard by Siegfried and Otto. Yeah, Roland, you can also see Beatrice and Evelyn at the top of the parapet here. In this courtyard, it's a strange sight, but it's also, I think, a sight you've seen before. These mongrel folk being chained to posts, and one or two of them scrambling for just attention. The one that's chained to a post is busy gobbling food up very heavily through her leathery wings and her claws. So she's ignoring you for a second. That's my sister Misha. Hello, Misha. This is you, Roland, if you're still there.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought you were talking with them still.
No.
But-
Like I say, is you see Beatrice and Evelyn walking out of the door at the top of this courtyard, and you're just being led in at the bottom.
Got it.
Yeah. So they're standing here at the top, and you're there at the bottom. You can just see the road there, right? And these two are somewhere else. They're not there. You don't see nothing. They're down in this corner there, even though I was seeing other things.
So I would say, oh, there are my friends right there.
But you see Siegfried. But we take you to Abbot in there. And he points in a different direction. You don't want to go up there. Up there, nothing of interest. Up the old hospital. No living people. Only Cloven stay somewhere there.
Okay, I don't want to upset you. I'll go to the abbot.
All right. But to make this easier on myself and all of you, Beatrice, I'm going to let you go a different way. You as you go through the door, wanting to go down the stairs, remember the warning that the abbot gave you about the guard that's outside of the
Oh yeah, the flesh.
The flesh golem, yes.
golem.
Yeah. If you go through there, then that thing will attack. So you instead go over and through one of these doors here. So I'm going to give you some information that is pretty new to you. But this room here, you will know, leads to the abbot, and this is where the belfry is, the loft and belfry. So as you walk through this door, you see a wooden staircase climbing 20 feet to into this loft with a pitched roof and a door in the center of the south wall. So you just walk through the southern wall door. You see unlit lanterns hanging from the rafters and a rope dangling from a bronze bell lodged in the belfry 30 feet overhead. The room is filled with nothing at the moment and is pretty empty, except for a cot heaped with furs resting in the northeastern corner, surrounded by empty wine bottles, an oil lamp burning, the smell of faint alcohol in the air, atop a nearby silhouetting. No, he's not there. And sorry, it's just I'm giving the description as if someone was in the room, but that someone is busy feeding all the other creatures at the moment, so I can't. But yes, you see this bed on the northeastern side that has wine bottles and beer all over, or the stench of wine and alcohol, and you see a table with a covering that looks suspiciously human on the left-hand side here. A black shroud. You hear Io and the abbot praying downstairs to Saloon.
So it looks like an autopsy table, kind of.
Yeah, it looks like an autopsy table, but you can see there are lumps and things peeking out underneath this black shroud.
I guess is what is actually getting operated down there, but I'm not gonna say it.
But yeah.
I would ask Aurelius if he knows what that is.
I've never been in this room before. I was told to stay away from Cloven as much as I could, and this is his sleeping quarters. I do not wish to impose on the what do you call it? The graciousness of the abbot.
I think I'll have a look.
All right, you want to look underneath? Okay.
Yeah.
So lifting the black shroud. All right, sorry, you can't even see the black shroud because of dynamic lighting. There we go. There's the black shroud. Beneath the shroud, you see a creature made of stitched together body parts. You, Beatrice, recognize some of these body parts as your own. Evelyn, you also get a little bit of a shock when you recognize one or two body parts as yours.
Wait, what do you mean by mine?
Your hand is clearly lying on the table. And Beatrice, your part of your shoulder is also lying on the table there.
How is that possible? I have hands.
I know you have hands. I'm well aware you have hands.
No, I mean I have both of my hands.
Yeah. And?
So how do I didn't grow a third hand, right?
No. But it's clearly lying there on the table.
We need to get out of here.
Yeah, you can see that Father Aurelius is also looking pretty sick at the moment. please, Beatrice, close the shroud. Close it now. That is not things for mortal eyes to see.
Okay, I'll do as he says. Does it look like basically the bride,
It
but
is.
in a former state, let's say, that it doesn't move?
It's some kind of creature that's been stitched together. It doesn't look like the bride. It's several just pieces of flesh that lies
Okay.
there.
No, but I mean in a similar way as the bride is, but it's not really
Almost.
moving yet.
It reminds you much more of the golem that's guarding the mongrel
Okay.
folk than of the bride. Don't laugh, Io.
Okay.
No laughing. I can hear you laughing.
I was yawning.
Okay, true. Um, so you close up the black shroud over the table, right?
Yeah.
Right. Io and Roland and well, Io, you are just finishing your prayers when you hear from two sides people coming down the stairs and coming through the doors. You obviously recognize your compatriots. Master Abbott. Master Abbott. We have more visitors. And Beatrice and Evelyn, you also see Roland just walking in with Otto and Siegfried.
Oh, I see you've made it.
Sorry about that, guys.
No problem. Sorry for leaving you behind.
Yeah, for you, Roland, this is a blah 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 blah. Where's this room? This is a main hall. You see there is several chairs surrounding a wooden table that stretches nearly the length of the room. Wooden dishware and golden candelabras are neatly arranged on the table with new cloth over it. There is this woman on one side with her hand silently clasped in front of her, imitating the prayer of Io and this handsome gentleman um, uh, speaking in a soft voice. The young woman has alabaster skin and is dressed in a torn and swelled red gown, and her black hair is neatly bundled as not to touch her soft shoulders. She's observing very closely what the other two people are doing.
So, did you feel anything, Abbott? Did Saloon communicate with you?
I hear many voices. I'm pretty sure that I did. I know.
What do you mean?
It has been a long time since I've worked with a different deity. I know the voice of Lathander quite well. Saloon, not so much. You see, this is a handsome young man in a brown monk's robe, talking gently to Io. He's got a painted wooden symbol that depicts the sun hanging from a chain around his neck. And he moves with the grace of a saint as he stands up. But it appears we have visitors. It really sounds like someone is chuckling, though.
Oh, yeah, it's probably because I'm shaking my leg and yawning
Oh,
at
I
the
see.
same time.
Sure. All right.
So he's basically trying to tell you that you're boring.
I know. I've
No,
always been boring.
it's just, it's 2 in the morning near where I am.
Yeah. He should not be awake. But he is. Thank you very much.
Having fun, so.
As long as you are having fun, that's good. I really hope you are. So Roland, you see this monk walking towards you. Good afternoon. I am the abbot, and you are?
I bow. I say I am Roland.
It is a pleasure. to meet you.
I just look him up and down.
Yeah, he walks over to shake your hand. It appears that you are searching for answers. How may I heal you today? And he gestures to the rest of your allies at the moment, and he says they have all come to visit me with their own ailments, although they haven't really told me how I can heal them. They have been judging quite a lot, but I have learned some things.
What is this place? Who are you?
I I am the abbot, and this is the Abbey of St Maccabiah, where those who are sick and dying find sustenance in the hearts of the thunder.
Kind of, let's see, lower my brow, make a very stern look, very serious. I was like, but who are you? Who do you serve?
I serve the Morning Lord, as I always have, as I always will. This here is Vasilka, and he points to the woman who's still sitting and waiting for her next order. You see that she's silent and stays silent. You see, the abbot doesn't really know what to do, so he's just following Beatrice behind. But the abbot, I don't know if ever seen the abbot before, Roland. But you see, there is another strange man behind Evelyn and Beatrice. It's the strange man that had been walking with them as well.
He did see him. He's the one he met him and Beatrice before
He
he
was
went to court.
he was listening through the wall. I don't think he ever saw the abbot.
Yeah, that's correct. Um, so I'd probably bring up what kind of god, what kind of practice do you do here that allows you to keep all of these creatures
Ah, my
in
beauties.
chains?
Oh, you're referring to Mishka. Well, Mishka's afraid. She thinks that someone very strong is after her. She thinks someone's trying to kill her. She's been tethered there for her own safety. You hear, all of you hear the scraping coming from outside as the um, large copper pot is being brought back again. And you see this other 4'5" or 6 foot, whatever, really small creature walking, a 4'7" creature walking in, pushing Otto and Siegfried out of the way. They look into what is now this empty um, copper pot, and this creature has two heads. It's barrel shaped, and his right head is fully formed and combines the features of patchy-haired man with those of a goat, complete with stubby horns. His left head is about half normal size and has a soft cherubic face, partly covered with crocodilian hide. In his left hand, he's got what appears to be a bear's. No, sorry. In his left hand, he's got this crab pincer and a bear's paw for a right foot. You see, that's what making him really move strangely. And the little clanging noise that most of you had been hearing earlier is this crab's claw hitting on this copper foot. Yeah, dice man, donkey. I'll share a picture with him in a second. A full picture so you can see all of him. The abbot says, Ah, Cloven. I assume that you have been feeding as many of the mongrel folk as you could today. Well done. And this creature just nods. Um, yeah, I'll we're returning upstairs, playing more, if you don't mind. And Beatrice, you realize that this is definitely the creature that was in the room upstairs with the drunk features to him.
I'll give him an evil stare because I know he's the one starving them.
Yeah. He's definitely the one starving them. All done, Abbot. All of them have been fed. The Abbot just looks pleased with himself. And he looks around and says, as you can see, my lovelies are being fed by my martinet, being well taken care of, and they are in recovery. This is a hospital after all.
How did you start your art, the flesh collage? How, when did you start this? It's amazing, like your creations, what you can do, your powers.
Are you referring to my work on the Balviews, or are you referring to my work with Vasilka? Because those are two separate things.
Let's start with the Bellevues. And you said that you were here when San Markovia was alive?
I had arrived after she was live. After her death, I wanted to. Well, I wanted to give her closure, continue her legacy, as it were. It was over
And
100 years ago that I was sent to honor her legacy. I reopened the abbey then, it had been closed for many centuries, and began tending to the physically and mentally ill. I'd hoped to bring a lot of light to Barovia. And I'm sure I have brought some light to them. Bellevue's being one of those that I brought light to. In their own way.
you said that you were sent.
Yes,
Sent by whom?
by Lathander himself.
Inside.
Sure.
Okay, it's bad.
Oh, man.
To roll religion instead.
I don't know if her religion's that good.
Talking about me.
Oh, you want to roll it?
Evelyn.
You want to roll religion? Sure. He will obviously offer you a seat, as he's sure that you are parched and in need of some wine. You see Cloven walking back and up the stairs, ignoring all of you.
19.
19. It is an odd turn of phrase sent to you. No one really is sent anywhere in terms of, let's call it, human religious affiliates, right? You're sent on missions, you're sent on quests and those kinds of things, but
I'm just like giving a hand to Beatrice and say, whatever we're doing, we can't take this thing on. And that's like whispering this.
yeah.
It's impossible to take a thing like him on.
I know, I'm just very curious to understand what the hell he's doing. I'm gonna whisper back.
Basically, I'm just saying, whatever he's saying, he's telling the truth.
All right. But I do not understand. You think my work here is unnecessary? You think I am doing something wrong?
Well, you see, I've never seen anything like that, so
Once again,
that's
gonna
why I'm
ask,
curious and I would like to learn more. It's more of like a curiosity for me. I'm not saying you're doing something bad.
are you referring to the mongrel folk or Vasilka?
I guess we were talking about the mongrel folk, so
Ah,
I
the mongrel
guess
folk, yeah,
about
yeah.
that.
That them. Yes, that knowledge I I didn't gain myself. To be able to cure them wasn't easy. Uh, I had required help. My early experiments had been very fatal. The Balvius insisted on continuing, and that I keep on trying. One day, a lord named Vasily von Holtz visited my abbey. The moment he stepped into those doors, I knew that he was evil. But he stressed that he wanted to help, and he furnished me with uh, information, lore, plucked from the Amber Temple. It helped me transform the Belvies into the mongrel folk and make them what they are today. The Belvies have been happy since that day. Their quirks a little exaggerated, and each generation that is born, they become a little bit more obsessed and requiring a little bit more attention. But what had to be done had to be done.
But what will happen if they run out of food?
Well, as long as Cloven is feeding them, they shouldn't be running out of food.
Are you checking up on Cloven? How do you know he's doing his job properly?
I'm far too busy teaching Vasilka the proper manners of courts to be worried about what Cloven is up to.
Okay, so you're not tending to your responsibilities as the abbot of this church.
Hmm. I think I am doing the right thing. I know I am doing the right thing.
What do you guys think? Should we leave or should we stay?
Leave. There's no point.
Yes, be careful of Von Holtz. He revealed himself to be Stradvan Tsarevich after he healed the creatures of Barovia, the mongrel folk, or after he had given me the forbidden lore from the Amber Temple. Do not go after him. This curse in this land is not worth it.
And you really think that this bride is gonna solve everything?
Yes, I am absolutely certain. If I can find a gown, a bridal gown for Vasilka, I can take her up to the castle and Strahd will be happy till the end of his days. The two of them will be married. If you are interested, you could help me find this gown.
I'm gonna go. I'm super curious about this guy, so I'm gonna move closer and say, I'm listening.
Like Avalon just give it a look. What did she just say?
I don't trust the mongrel folk to be able to get me a gown. I need it so that Vasilka and I can head to the castle, have dinner with Strahd, and officiate. I can obviously officiate the wedding. I was planning on asking the burgomaster to go and fetch it for me, but if you are willing to fetch it for me, I could do you a favor in kind. If any of you were to die in these lands, I could offer my services to you up to 3 times. If you bring me the body back in time, I can revive them.
I was under the impression that you do this for free. I don't mean to offend, but that's what I understood from the way you talked before.
I have
Isn't that what a holy person should do? Is help when he can help, not only when he receives help first?
but a life given and a life taken away requires some kind of sacrifice. I can heal your wounds and I can heal your ailments, but reviving someone is a much bigger task and requires not only sacrifice from me, but sacrifice from each person involved in the ritual. It's not likely.
So each person should bring a wedding dress to the ritual.
No. If a person, and I'm not saying that this could happen, but if a person were to die, what is required is something related to the person that is dead. It will be words spoken or mementos carried or something related to that person to bring their soul back from the mists of Barovia, from where it is currently just roiling and boiling within this place. This demiplane traps a lot of things. Souls, people. It's a whirlpool of energies. And returning a soul from a place like that requires strength and know-how. I am one of those beings that is able to do that. Bring people back from the dead. I only ask a small favor.
I just had a small realization. I'm sorry, Abbott, for interrupting you. But you mentioned now that souls cannot leave.
Yes.
Correct?
That is correct.
Which means that gods like Lathander and Salion cannot take the souls of their followers. Correct?
I do not know if that is true.
Well, if we go by what we just said, that souls cannot leave, that means that the gods we are worshipping cannot
Yes.
collect our souls.
But the presence of those
If
gods
I-
is still found here. And some of those gods have been brought over from the primaterial plane to here. Which is why Selûne and Lathander's energy and presence is so well felt. I think
Does that mean that the gods are physically in Barovia, in the lands of Barovia?
I do not know.
My concern is that if the gods cannot take away, if even the gods cannot take away the souls that belong to them, how can they get in? How can they speak to you through whatever is blocking souls from leaving?
How did these adventurers get here? What brought them here? I do not even know or have the knowledge of how they would have come here. Somehow
How-
things come in from the primaterial plane. Remember that the deities do not exist on the prime material plane. They exist on a different plane of existence, just as this place is a different plane of existence. So their power should and would enter into here. It's my belief, at
So
least.
by that logic, they should also be able to take their souls, the souls of their followers, out.
Some of them do, yes.
Because so some souls actually can leave Barovia.
It is my belief that some souls can leave Barovia, yes. But those that die here do not leave. That is certain.
That is what I mean. As far as I know, the Vistani can bring in and take out people.
Yes.
And whenever Strahd wills it, something can leave.
Yes.
Or someone can leave. Or come in.
As far as my understanding goes, yes.
But how do we know that Strahd isn't perverting the words of the gods when it comes in?
He is not that powerful.
How do you know that?
He is much, much younger than I am.
But still, you are working for him. You are making a doll for him instead of taking him down. If you are more powerful than Strahd, correct, then why not just get rid of him?
Because I am working to end the curse on this land. I am not working to get rid of him. The curse that is laid upon this land, that the dark powers has given him, needs to be gotten rid of as well. Not just the creature himself.
That is very interesting. I did not know. So Strahd isn't the curse. Strahd isn't causing the curse.
No.
Something bigger than Strahd is causing the curse.
The dark powers is the ones that control this place, that gave him his powers, that gave him his corruption, that gave me the way to change these beings, these mongrel.
The dark powers gave you the powers to change the beings, to change the Bellevues.
I had learned this after the fact, yes.
That is very concerning, that you are still using that power, even though it is coming from an evil source.
I am not corrupted, so why should
I
I not
don't
use the
believe you.
power? I do not care if you do not believe me.
It is the same as saying that because I am a werewolf, it is okay for me to kill and eat people, because that is what werewolves do.
I think this line of questioning is enough. I think that I will be asking you to leave.
I will
Pretty
gladly
soon.
leave. And I'll leave.
Alright.
I'm gonna ask him about the gown, and I'm gonna leave.
Just quickly about the gown. Where do I find the gown? He will tell you that he does not know where to find a gown. He was going to ask the burgomaster to find it for him.
So it could be any, like something you find in a store, basically.
Yeah, a gown worth Stradman's Arvich though. He's seeking a gown that Vasilka could wear to a wedding, and he wants that gown within a month. But yeah, it basically, as long as it's a bridal gown, he's fine with it. Does anyone have any other questions? Before I decide to start fighting here.
Nope. Pretty much gathered what I
I don't
needed out of
want
that
to.
conversation.
Because I'm very, very close to having the abbot reveal who he truly is.
Goblet.
Goblet. Either you spent a month, 2 months with Russia, not me. All right. So you see the abbot is actually breathing quite heavily, and he's lost his composure quite a bit during that conversation. As you've realized that he is completely and utterly insane, and that his pure flaw, and this is a flaw of his, is that he can't be corrupted. His heart is pure and his intentions are noble and good. He believes with all of his heart that he is not a corrupted being, that he cannot be swayed, he cannot be convinced by anyone else, and he cannot be working or even think of working for Stradvan Zarovich. And he will not believe what anyone else tells him about religion or about how the prime material plane works or the Steme plane works. Which is news, I guess.
That's quite the flaw.
That's quite a flaw, right? But I mean, no, it's just I'm adding information, but I'll copy and paste the full flaw here. Actually, I'll copy and paste all of his information because I think you've learned that. But because this full-on conversation that you learn from him is he wants to rid Barovia of the sickness, and he thinks ridding Barovia of that sickness is giving Strahd his heart's desire, which is Vasilka. He will be the one to bring salvation to this land. And the second thing is his bond is literally he loves these mongrel folk he creates, including the flesh golem.
What a twisted guy.
Very much so. All right, you are all led out of the abbey here by the abbot. He walks you to the gates, and he does say, "I would have loved to come with you to the pool of St. Maccabiah, but I have a feeling that you do not wish to do this anymore. And to be honest, I do not feel like it either. I will continue my vigil and my prayer and continue my training of Vasilka. But if there is ever any need that you require of me, you know what must be done." Whew. And we can take a quick break there. As you all walk out of the abbey, you see the dark clouds that had been hovering, that Roland had seen earlier this morning, are slowly making its way back over through the forest and is slowly gathering towards Kresk.
Does it seem like it's going straight for the abbey, or does it look like it's heading for?
It's following the main road. And it seems like it's going towards Kresk. And it's difficult to tell whether it's the Abbey or Kresk, but it's because it's still around the bridge section between Richton's tower and the bridge.
This is cause for concern.
Right, we'll take a quick break there. I hope everyone's still there, everyone's still awake.
Yeah.
Lots of things happened.
The abbot is awesome. I mean, I cannot even hide my fascination with the character.
It's a very, very good character, right? It's very well written. It's very difficult to cure him. And once you know what he is, but yeah, he full on believes that Strahd has a malady, and this malady is love. and he's convinced that the cure lies in reuniting Strahd with his lost love. Remember, the abbot does not know who his lost love was, and he believes that this is Vasilka.
Yeah, he's a tough character, that's for sure.
Yeah, he's a tough character. He's a very, very tough character to solve.
I mean, no matter what we say to him or what he does, if he feels that he's right, that's what he's gonna do, because
That's why I
him.
say, to me, the conversation between him and Io was just going in circles, because it was going to go in circles all the time. If he truly believes he can't be corrupted, then anything and everything he's saying and he's hearing from whatever source this is true to him. Whether or not this is truly Lathander, I cannot say.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. So it's very. I don't know how you guys can, if you guys can cure him. But if you get strong enough, certainly you can try.
Yeah, I mean, as a player, I'm certain we cannot do it, but as a character, since I know that my mentor has healing powers, and I'm not I don't know a lot about healing, I would have asked, basically.
Yeah, but even he says he cannot do something because the abbot is this old. The abbot, after all, is the oldest being within Barovia.
How old is he?
That is.
He said he's older than Strahd.
Yeah,
Strahd is like there 400 years or something.
Yeah, Strahd is 400 years old, so he's older than 400 years.
401 years.
Yeah, obviously I can't say I can say out of character how old he is, but in character I can't say.
Got it.
Yeah. We have, I think, about we can take a 7-minute break here, and then I think we probably have about an hour left.
Okay, cool.
Or half an hour, 45 minutes, depending on what happens next. Obviously, I will go as you guys need to. You could have asked. You've still got a few things that you want to sort out here in Krezk. And you still have that book to try and figure out.
All right.
But yeah, I'll see you guys in a few minutes' time. It's the same for the people streaming on my Twitch and my YouTube side. I'm gonna put you guys over to the music channel there. Listen to the same song over and over, and I'll see you in a few minutes. Whew. I'm breathing heavily, by the way. That was intense for me. I don't know if it changes a lot of your goals and perspectives, but certainly it makes it interesting. I'm back. Ba-dum-dum-dum. Ba-da-doo-doo-doo. Hello. I'm back. Anyone?
I never left.
Yay! Let me just find out if Evelyn, you still with us today? Find out if Evelyn wants to play. All right. Yep.
Hello.
Hello. So, what would you like to do?
Well, maybe we could talk to the burgomaster and see if he knows about any dresses.
Okay, sure.
And on the way down, I would like to try and open that book. I remember I cast a spell to see if there's a trap on it, and you said no trap, right?
No, there was no trap on it. There is some kind of lock on it, though. A locking mechanism.
Yeah, I'd like to try and pick that lock.
All right.
Can you guide yourself, by the way?
Yep. Guidance is a touch spell, so yes, you can guide yourself.
I don't have guidance.
No. Why are you not that kind of
Maybe
cleric?
Aurelius has it.
Sorry, Beatrice.
Maybe Aurelius has it.
Oh, let's see if Aurelius has it. I can't remember if I gave Aurelius that. No, that's not Aurelius. That's Cloven. I don't want Cloven here. Ah. Let's go find Aurelius. Aurelius, where are you? You are on.
Light, Sacred Flame, Spare the Dying, Word of Radiance, and Mending.
I gave him a lot of spells
Those,
that help him suffer and give himself damage, basically.
it's a cantrip.
Mm. And named NPCs. Father Aurelius, there you are. Hello. Spells. He's got guidance, yeah.
Great. Does he give me the guidance?
Well, may Saloon bless you and keep you every day. What is this you are working on, Beatrice? And who are these people?
My other two friends, Io, who is a new talent that I wasn't even scouting for, and Roland.
I see. You get a D4. Roll D4 and add that to your roll.
Dean.
So you did not do this completely alone then?
Luckily enough, I found people.
That is wonderful news. I had been worried, sick about you, and how you would survive the treacheries. When you arrived that first night, I had been shocked to know that you had come so far and survived so much. I must thank every single one of you. Yeah, he's pretty distracted by giving you the guidance here. Why did you make a religion? Do you want to make a dexter? Yeah, that does not help you at all to unlock a book.
I can probably just change the modifier. Or do I need to reroll?
You'll need to reroll, please.
The D4 as well.
Mm-hmm. That's a stealth. Dexterity, straight up dexterity 4.
Sorry. So
You're tired,
that
clearly.
would be for Thieves' Tools would be dexterity plus my proficiency bonus.
Mhm. So if you've got Thieves' Tools on you, you can click on the word Thieves' Tools at the bottom left, and then add that.
Probably gonna be a shit roll.
Yeah, because that stealth was very beautiful.
Did it roll?
There we go. Oh wow!
Oh,
For a DC 20, that is a success.
Hold up, I'm not finished.
Mm-hmm.
That's 25.
Yeah, I mean. So the immediate way that you would have figured out that the mechanism for this book that is closed with this clasp with 2 fangs over it would have been to give a blood sacrifice. But you using your thieves' tools apparently don't need a blood sacrifice. A smallest piece of blood would have worked, but you all stare in wonder as as Io starts just fiddling with the edges of this lock, and you suddenly just see the book pop open, and this old parchment is revealed with a lot of scribbling and writing all over it. The Tome of Strahd has revealed its secrets.
I got it open, guys. I don't know what it does, but should we read it? Can I
Roland,
read it while I walk down?
of course, yeah. Roland, you now, with this book being flipped open, if you look in magic items, it's called the Tome of Strahd, just to know what it looks like. But it's this leather bound, yeah, it's a beautiful book. And it's an ancient work. And Beatrice, you immediately recognize the writing because you've seen this writing before. It is definitely in the pen of Strahd. It's this thin, slanting writing. And the book is bound in a thick leather with steel hinges. The pages are parchment and they're still a bit brittle. Most of the book is written in the curious shorthand that now you will realize only Strahd employs. And there are stains and age that has made most of the work illegible, but several paragraphs do remain intact and readable, which I will share with you now. Congratulations. I hate this. So would you like to read it, or am I going to read it? In Adventure Notes, the first thing called From the Tome of Strahd.
Your notes. Okay, I can read it. Oh wow, that's a lot. Okay.
That's why I said I can read it for you if you want to.
I opened the book, so
All right, go for it.
I'm not gonna read it with an accent though.
No, that's okay.
Um,
You're reading it as
I
yourself.
am the ancient. Yes. I am the ancient. I am the land. My beginnings are lost in the darkness of the past. I was the warrior. I was good and just. I thundered across the land like the wrath of a just god. But the war years and the killing years wore down my soul as the wind wears stone into sand. All goodness slipped from my life. I found my youth and strength gone, and all I had left was death. My army settled in the valley of Barovia and took power over the people in the name of a just God, but with none of a God's grace or justice. I called for my family, long unseated from their ancient thrones, and brought them here to settle in the castle Ravenloft. They came with a younger brother of mine, Sergei. He was handsome and youthful. I hated him for both. From the families of the valley, one spirit shone above all others,
I'm back.
a rare beauty who was called
Welcome
perfection,
back.
joy, and treasure. Her name was
Hello.
Tatiana, and I longed for her to be mine. I loved her with all my heart. I
Sorry.
loved her for her youth.
You just stop it there. Just Evelyn, we are reading from the Tome of Strahd. So if you want to join Adventure Notes from the Tome of Strahd, I was able to open the book with a beautiful dexterity check there. You may continue.
Her name was Tatiana, and I longed for her to be mine. I loved her with all my heart. I loved her for her youth. I loved her for her joy. But she spurned me. Old One was my name to her. Elder and brother also. Jesus, this guy got fucking zoned.
Yeah, and we're paying for the friend zone.
Yeah. Her heart went to Sergei. They were
He's
betrothed.
basically the revenge of Sir Jory personified.
Yeah. The date was set. With words she called me brother, but when I looked into her eyes, they reflected another name, death. It was the death of the age that she saw in me. She loved her youth and enjoyed it, but I had squandered mine. The death she saw in me turned her from me, and so I came to hate death, my death. My hate is very strong. I would not be called death so soon. I made a pact with death, a pact with blood, a pact of blood. On the day of the wedding, I killed Sergei, my brother. My pact was sealed with his blood. I found Tatiana weeping in the garden east of the chapel. She fled from me. She would not let me explain, and a great anger swelled within me. She had to understand the pact I made with her. I made for her. I pursued her. Finally, in despair, she flung herself from the walls of Ravenloft, and I watched everything. I watched everything I ever wanted fall from my grasp forever. It was 1,000 feet through the mists. No trace of her was ever found. Not even I know her final fate. Arrows from the castle guards pierced me to my soul, but I did not die, nor did I live. I became undead forever. I have studied much since then. Vampire is my new name. Or is that how they spell vampire? I don't know.
Yeah. Either
Vampire
way.
is my new name. I still lust for life and youth, and I curse the living that took them from me. Even the sun is against me. It is the sun and its light I fear the most, but little else can harm me now. Even a stake through my heart does not kill me, though it holds me from movement. Okay, but the sword, that cursed sword that Sergei brought, I must I must dispose of that awful tool. I fear and hate it as much as the sun. I've often hunted for Tatiana. I've even felt her within my grasp, but she escapes. She taunts me. She taunts me. What will it take to bend her to love me? I now reside far below Ravenloft. I live among the dead and sleep beneath the very stones of this hollow castle of despair. I shall seal shut the walls of the stairs that none may disturb me. Too bad, so sad.
Too bad, so sad.
The only thing I don't understand is why would he disturb Barovia now?
Why would you disturb Barovia now? What do you mean?
Like, I think he just hates Barovia for like everything that it means, you know? Everything that Barovia stands for, perhaps all the memories that he has of this place. He completely hates it and will forever torment everyone here. Also, probably because Tatiana keeps on being born here.
Yeah, that could be true. Certainly, you know that Irina shared a soul with Tatiana. Irina and Tatiana were the same being.
Yeah.
So Irina is the reason like Strahd like came out of his hidey hole
Yeah,
or
yeah, definitely.
man cave.
Obviously.
Yeah. I can only imagine like that's his main reason for keeping the souls here is so that Tatiana's soul can never move on, and he always has at least once per generation he has a chance
To
to
reunite with
hook up
her.
with this chick.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
And now we let her out for good. Like she's not coming back again.
You see why he's so angry at you.
So
Guys, we're about to
basically,
die.
the games are over.
Mm-hmm.
Hi.
Yes, and that is probably why when you realize when you're at the bottom of the hill, that dark cloud of strange, erratic moving things is a swarm of very, very many thousands of bats. Not too far from the village at all. They're,
Oh.
yeah, this is a large swarm of bats that has gathered around. And some of the full wrath of Strahd is being released at the moment.
We need to leave this town. Strahd is attacking it because of us. We can't risk all these innocents.
What do you suggest we go outside the walls, face it there? I
We-
don't know.
That's what I must say.
Okay, I can agree with that if we can limit the amount of deaths to as little as possible. Then yes. Should we warn the villagers while we go outside?
I can't answer that question. That's why I'm keeping quiet.
We can just ask them to stay locked inside their homes, I guess. But panic also creates problems.
Agreed on that one.
I do not know how much use I could be in this situation, though, Beatrice. I have wasted away. I need a rest. And you can see that Father Aurelius is weakened by even the smallish walking down this pathway.
Perhaps we tell the Burgermaster and we leave Father Aurelius with the Burgermaster and then we go outside to fight Strahd outside the city.
Yeah, we can do that.
Let me see. I might have a few more spells left. I do not know. If I could heal myself a little bit more, I could be of service to you. Although I do not have any healing spells prepared. Curse myself. Curse myself. Why do I not have any healing spells prepared? I've got create food and water. I've got meld into stone and vampiric touch. But why?
Just be careful because we met another priest here and he has a lot of good spells.
You did? Oh, where?
You even have a similar accent.
I know.
I know.
For some reason, I keep on having the similar accent. He sounds like an interesting man. I would like to meet him. All right. So, are you guys preparing then for battle outside?
Yeah.
I mean, if that's what everyone wants to do, then yes.
You'll also see that the
I was
battle.
more not fighting and actually just running away.
Yeah, I was also thinking about that, but I don't know.
The point is that we're not supposed to be here. We're wasting everything and like everyone in the town by staying here. So
And we basically, I mean, we know that we cannot fight him. We learned that lesson.
yeah, I mean, he already kicked our ass once. Do we want it to happen twice?
So, what would you like to do? I have the outside map prepared.
I wanted to use the horses we got from the thing to run away.
Which
That's what
direction?
I think towards Valaki, back to the elves. I think that we can. I'm guessing that the last piece we need is in the Amber Temple anyway.
You know where the last piece is. I've already told you where the last piece is.
I don't remember.
Ravenloft.
Castle Ravenloft. In the castle itself. Right, so
Maybe-
these
maybe-
bats are
maybe-
currently swarming right over the main road here.
I don't think we can take on Ravenloft alone. That's also why we need help.
That's true.
I think we are stronger than we think we are. Stronger than you think we are. Also, like going to Ravenloft doesn't mean we're gonna fight Strahd.
Yes, no, remember, you can go to Castle Ravenloft anytime in this adventure. It's literally designed that you can be there at like the 4th session. I think Trolling knows this more than anyone. I think he almost got there once before.
I don't even remember.
I'd still just like go completely and utterly prepared first.
Of course, yeah. That would be the whole point.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
So-
I don't think that Strahd, with his demeanor right now toward us, will just like let's come in, like run around my castle.
Definitely not.
Eat my food.
Eat my food and do what I wish you to do. You
Kill
say
my wife.
do what everything the abbot just offered. Strahd is definitely going to offer you for sure. Look, at the moment you only know there is a large swarm of bats approaching Crest. Sorry, we're both talking at the same time. Go.
Especially with all the arena stuff we did right now.
Sorry.
Especially now that we pissed him off thoroughly.
Yeah, you did.
Gonna be very welcoming.
But yes, so at that would not be a fun plot twist. I don't want to do that. So yeah, you guys have a few hours here to decide what's happening.
I'm gonna look at Io because I know that he's from around there, and I'm gonna ask, do you think there's a place where we can kind of conceal ourselves, hide? I don't know.
Problem is if we hide, the bats are gonna go for the town and hurt all the innocent people. Obviously, we don't want that to happen. The other problem that we have is there's only this one road leading leading to Valaki, and the bats are blocking the path. We can't go through the forest because it is very dangerous and it is very easy to get lost. I think, I don't know. I think we have to fight this. I don't think it would be good of us to let the people get hurt because we let Irina go.
Does someone want to make me an insight check?
Okay.
I think, yep. Since you are the one from here, I'd ask you to make the insight check as well, for sure. But
Big money.
I'll allow Beatrice and Evelyn to make it as well, since they've been here enough.
Check.
Please.
This is why I hate push to talk, but I have to.
You have to.
22.
Very nice. Let's see what the other two gets. Oh, Evelyn. Oh, wow.
Hey.
All right. Since it makes sense that it was Beatrice and makes sense that it was Io. Beatrice, you have been tracking the movement of these bats since yesterday morning, afternoon. They have been gathering allies, whoever these bats are. And Io, you realize that when they were at the top of the mountain, they were close enough to the werewolf den to at least recruit one or two werewolves.
No more wolves!
Yay!
Yay!
It's always wolves. Literally, you always roll
Do
for
you,
wolves.
do you
Everything I do.
guys have silvered or magical weapons?
Nope.
I do, but I cannot help someone to have one. I have a spell. But you know what? What if we use the fortifications at least by the gate to have advantage? At least that, because if we go on the open road, we're lost.
What I was thinking is if we fight just outside the gate, the guards can help us to rain down fire.
Yes.
So if we can just stay within a range of the gates.
Yeah, I'm sure you're not totally salty about that at all, person with braces of archery on your arms.
A free magic item.
Do you want me to take it away as well? I can do that.
Please don't, it's the only thing.
And your bracer suddenly break.
Your braces suddenly break from nowhere. The anger of Strahd flows through you from a spirit that was. You. It does sound like you need some time to think about it. I'm not saying that the option of running and hiding isn't there. You have no idea what or why or what these bats will do once they get to Kresk. But I will tell
Sounds
you.
like we're.
Yep. I will
I
tell
was
you.
just gonna say.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
It's Monster of the Month. Or reminding you, Monster of the Month exists.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. And you're watching Monster of the Month approaching.
It's in the ass.
Sorry?
Let's kill this before it bites us in the ass.
We already skipped one, I think. So
Yeah, those
Yeah, we skipped
consequences. Those consequences are busy rolling out.
You skipped one?
You let the Were Ravens deal with it. The Yester Hill incident.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
What about Magantha?
Morgantha,
You just-
you sort of, yeah, you didn't skip it. It's there. It's still working. It's still going. You haven't killed Morgantha completely.
You ran away twice.
Yeah, but I mean, at the moment she can't do much. She's lost a lot of her cavern, so she needs to
So-
recover from that.
How much time exactly do we have?
I was gonna give you a long rest. If you require that long rest, I will give you that long rest. If you think you
I would
can,
like to take a long rest.
um, then I will think about obviously during this week how close they get to Kresk and what they do during the long rest time, because they will then start moving towards the village. They weren't going to move towards the village. It was going to be an outside fight, because I also have an outside map.
So they're not moving towards us at the moment. They're waiting.
They are waiting right
There.
over here. Yep.
What do you guys think?
I think we shouldn't risk anyone else.
Agreed.
I'm ready if you are.
Let's
Me too,
end
me too.
this.
Sorry, Beatrice?
No, I said me too, and I guess I'm gonna leave him behind, like
Yeah.
at the village.
Father Aurelius, I can have Father Aurelius join you, but he's got 22 out of 62 health.
Yeah, it doesn't
So
make sense.
he's gonna fall very, very quickly if he does join you.
Would still say something to the burgomaster, just like,
Of
"Hey,
course.
God is attacking.
Yeah.
We are defending your village."
This is why I did not have allow adventurers into my village. Now I'm suddenly going back into another accent. This is why I never allowed villagers or other strange folk into my village. Take care of it quickly. Quickly.
I'm just gonna tell him Vasily von Holt is Strahd, and then I'm gonna walk away.
Oh. You will see him fish gape mouthing you. Yeah, I don't know if you heard this, Evelyn, but the abbot confirmed that Vasily von Holtz is Strahd. And that Vasily von Holtz, Vasily von Holtz was the one that gave the abbot the power to change the mongrel folk, or to create the mongrel folk. Let's rather call it that. Something called the Dark Powers. All right, so you're heading out. You're not taking your long rests. You head out of the village, walk towards this section of the forest. I obviously don't need to ask you to make survival checks because you know where you're going and what you're doing. And as you get closer, you can hear the growling and howling of several werewolves. You see that this is a section of road that is sort of closed off and creating a small valleyed section, and there are a few werewolves just standing on rocks, sort of waiting for you. On a larger section of rock, Strahd himself, obviously the pinnacle and highest point you could find, is observing and waiting with anger, and surrounding all of them are these swarms of bats. Each of the werewolves have positioned themselves 20-30 feet up in this valley section and are all waiting for you. Io, your heart sinks as you recognize the leader of this pack, Kirill Stoyanovich. He is just below Strahd, staring intently into the road. Slight smile on his face, and excitement for bloodlust as well.
Shout out to him. Kirill, we don't want to do this. We don't want to fight with you.
Yeah, boy, you've always been a weakling, haven't you? I hear you
Always.
ran away.
No, I did not run. You exiled me.
I did no such thing. That was your father. I would have liked to have you in my tribe. I would have liked to see your blood spill. I mean, those bats.
Shoot a fireball at him.
You want to
Can
shoot
I
a
do
fire?
that?
No, because I am ending the session there, and you will not be within range. I will say that you aren't within range just yet. What is the range of fireball anyway?
60.
150.
150. Yeah, no. You will need to get
Yeah,
a little bit
150.
closer, and then next week I will show you all the map.
That's
That is the.
also we want a word. Goddamn.
Sorry.
Just saying, we want a word. Goddamn. Kidding.
Right. What is the marching order here? Just so I know.
I don't even know.
Beatrice, Roland, me, and
I
and
would be
I.
in the front, I guess.
Yeah, I'll be very close behind her, like hiding.
I'd
A little.
probably be standing on the side of her.
Or
In
is-
front as well.
In front as well. Okay.
Yeah, then I'll be like between the two, but behind them, just like shouting over
Yeah,
their
I
shoulder.
think I'll be block the back guard again.
120 feet. Let's see. Oh, you're the back guard. So yes, the cliffs here getting to the wolves will be 20-30 feet. So even though the map will look simple, it is not as simple as you think. So I'm going to give you a quick view of the map. But it's not as simple. I might change a few things around, obviously. But yeah, so you can get a view of Kirill Stoyanovich in his ragged down clothing. Is wearing just threads. This bearded man with the deep guttural voice. And these werewolves and bats just swarming around. Can you all see?
Mm-hmm.
Right. But yeah, these cliffs would be 30 feet high, and you'll need to.
Did we level up, by the way?
No, you did
No,
not.
because we didn't take a long rest.
Ah, dang it.
That's why I said I give you the option of long resting or going straight into this fight. You're going straight into this fight.
We're screwed.
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so either.
Does level 7 give me another multi-attack? No, it doesn't.
No, level 10 gives you multi-attack.
Damn it. Oh, no.
And
Oh,
now
yeah,
read
no,
it.
yeah. It's fine for me to class to Bard then.
Yeah, but besides, you're multi-classing to Bard and Beatrice is multi-classing to something else.
Ooh, what are you multi-classing into?
I don't know yet, to be honest.
Oh, things are changing. The next session will not be longer, but it's going to be start off with a fight for sure. All it depends on whether you are fighting or convincing all of these very, very angry people to to not fight you, which I doubt will happen. If Aya knows anything of Kirill Stoyanovich, you know that he's not going to fight. He's not going to not fight. And the look
Not
on.
one to back down.
Sorry.
Say he's just not one to back down.
No, he's definitely not one to back down. And Beatrice and Evelyn can definitely, all three of you can definitely see Strata is not a happy camper at the moment. He is the angriest that you have ever seen him. But yes, that is where we will end our session, at that nice cliffhanger. I love cliffhangers. And you guys can discuss, if need be, next during the week what you want to do. And how you want to do it. Right, I'll be right back. Thank you guys so much. Sorry, I went over there without thinking. But yeah, thank you guys so much for staying as long as you did. You all awesome. Convincing would take forever and a day, possibly, but we'll see how it goes. And we will see you guys next week for this epic monster of the month fight. That is most likely just going to be the werewolves and the bats, but we'll see how it goes. Because Strahd has his own goal. He's not aware that they have the tome, But he is very aware that they do have the sword, and he's after that sword at the moment. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a comment and a like, and I'll see you guys next time.